Joining us now is Paul McCulley. He's the former chief economist at PIMCO, currently an adjunct professor at Georgetown's McDonough School of Business. Paul, it's great to see you. None and done? Is that right?
Hadn't heard that expression before, but I guess yes. I certainly don't think that they will tell us that tomorrow. I think they will pause tomorrow. And actually, I think they'll probably take up the end of year dot showing one more hike. But I think they resolutely will be on pause tomorrow. And my forecast will be that the last hike was the last meeting back in May. So I agree with the consensus that Steve just presented, which was actually a little bit surprising to me. But I certainly don't think we're going to get confirmation of that from Mr. Powell tomorrow. If anything, I think he will err on the side of a bit more hawkish rhetoric so as to keep the 18 on the FOMC meeting moving in line going forward.
Although maybe it's fair to say, Paul, you're a little more dovish than people might even realize because you think they could start cutting after Jackson Hole.
Yes, I certainly don't think they would cut before Jackson Hole, and that's been a long-standing viewpoint of mine, including when the marketplace was pricing in easing this summer. Because I think at Jackson Hole is when Chair Powell logically should declare that the Fed is sufficiently restrictive, not just restrictive, which we will pound the table, I think, tomorrow, but sufficiently restrictive, which will be the code for the next move is to ease. It could be in the second half of this year, out in the fourth quarter, or it could be in the first quarter. I'm not religious about that, but I think it's necessary for Fed Chair to declare that he's sufficiently restrictive before the marketplace will this time start actively pricing in easing at a meeting not too far away. And
it's interesting, Steve, I'll turn to you and we can kick this around a little bit, but that we're talking about this on an outlook that, Paul, I don't think you're all that bearish about the economy. I don't hear you saying we're going in, recession, financial crisis. This sounds like simply the space that falling inflation might leave us. Steve, can you just weigh in on that, especially after the core today? The Fed is going to see a higher core this month, but that's expected to reverse, I guess, next month substantially.
Yeah, let me be clear that McCulley is a clever man and he's playing a math game with you, right? So how do you get to sufficiently restrictive if you hold the rate where it is? And because inside McCulley's brain there, he has the inflation rate coming down, so the real rate comes up, and that's how Powell, without moving, gets to the place. I know McCulley pretty well. That's the game he's playing with you. He's got to have that forecast in you because you can't get this sufficiently restrictive if you stay where you are and the inflation stays where it is. He's not going to change. Inside that must be this forecast that inflation's coming down. I'll give you two words about the economy. Let Paul respond, which is that we have been waiting for Godot on the recession. Kelly, you and I have been talking about it. Mm-hmm. We keep sitting there. It doesn't come. We start off with a tree with no leaves. By the end of the play, there's a tree with leaves. If you look at what's happened in our Fed survey, we had people forecasting the recession was going to begin in June. Then it was going to begin in September, and now it begins in November. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just saying at some point, it ends up being wrong because you don't get three throws of the ball at the bottles to make them fall at the arcade game, or that's all you get is three. So I'm thinking that at some point we get to this place, if the Fed is sufficiently restrictive, if the banks don't tighten a lot here, it's possible this soft landing can happen. And that's, I think, increasingly the view on the street. We had one guy in the survey, Kelly, I'll just tell you, one of the long-standing members of the survey team saying he answered don't know more times than he's ever answered before because that's how foggy the outlook is.
Paul?
I think don't know is a good answer sometimes, and the older we get, the more often we probably need to say that just based upon the experience that stuff happens. With respect to the recession, I have never been in the recession camp. It's been a tail risk for me. My base case throughout this entire tightening cycle is that a soft landing is achievable, but a soft landing requires that the Fed not land the plane nose down. as Chicago Fed President Goolsbee would say. And essentially, I think what they're doing tomorrow is pulling up the nose of the plane. And I think we will have a soft landing. And I think inflation will continue to come down. And as Steve said, in the context of a unchanged nominal Fed policy rate, that will lift the real rate. So I think the Fed's actually in a pretty good place right now, a pretty good place.